Morning everyone and welcome to Five a Day. We're doing a real whirlwind tour through the verses in Matthew that start the Sermon on the Mount that we refer to as the Beatitudes. And so we've done two yesterday. We're going to try and do another two today in just a few minutes. Let me read them first. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. I remember as a kid, you'd hear people say, gentle Jesus, meek and mild, because it's a song or something like that. And so my idea of meekness was that helplessness, hopelessness, somebody who was completely subservient to everything going around. But the meaning here is not that at all. Blessed are the meek. What is it talking about? Who are the meek? Well, it seems to be that the meek are those who are gentle, and the word gentleness maybe is a far better word than meek. Gentleness, in other words, they're not there, they don't live their lives seeking to get revenge or to be harsh or to be rude or just to get one up on everybody. If you look at social media, sometimes my heart sinks when I read the way people talk about each other, or they talk about things and they're trying to be strong, they're trying to appear to be strong and to push their opinions, and they do that in a way that often makes you, maybe you have the same thing, you just don't bother to read it because of the harsh tone. And yet others can speak in a gentle way, and that can have great resonance and great impact. We heard about the government doing a U-turn in their policy yesterday, and if you heard Marcus Rashford speak, he was gentle in what he said. His approach was gentle. He brought forward the argument in a way that everybody could hear, and it resonated and it made a difference. The meek, he says, it goes on, for they will inherit the earth. Not the harsh, not the supposedly strong, not the tyrannical, not the aggressive. Interestingly enough, we seem to these days elect national leaders who are harsh, aggressive, maybe even tyrannical. We think that's a good way forward. We think that's how governments should be. We think that's how the country should be. We think that will bring all the good things to everybody. But Jesus was totally different. And as a leader, his traits were different. And these Beatitudes are the attitudes of Jesus coming out. Jesus is the example. If you want to find the examples, you look at Scripture, you look in the Gospels and you read how Jesus dealt with people, how Jesus reacted. He stood on his convictions, he stood on what he believed was right, but he treated everybody in a gentle way. And the Bible says they will inherit the earth. That's very counter-culture today. You have to be hard, you have to be aggressive, you have to go for it, you have to push for what you want. But the kingdom of God is different. And the kingdom of God, what is that? Is ultimately everything and the whole rule of the universe. And then it goes on, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. You know, people seems to be from the moment they're born to the moment they die, are hungry for stuff. We fill our lives with stuff. I saw the massive queues at the stores when they opened on Monday, having been closed for 3 months, and people were queuing up. They wanted more stuff in their lives. They wanted to fill their lives with stuff that will make them happy. They want to go on their shopping experience because that will satisfy them. Of course it won't, because the same people will be back in a few weeks' time wanting more stuff to replace the stuff that they bought that didn't really make them feel happy anyway. But in all sorts of areas, people seeking to fill themselves. It was Augustine who wrote some sort of 16 centuries ago, that we're not satisfied until we have God in our lives. It's only God that can satisfy us, and so we seek and we search, whether it's money, whether it's power, whether it's fame, whether it's relationships, whether it's hoarding stuff, whether it's popularity, how many millions of people click on you on Facebook or whatever. We seek, and yet it never satisfied. But it says, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, they will be filled. And what's this righteousness? Two aspects. It has a personal aspect, to be right with God and to live rightly and to have a morality that steers you through the life of the world, that enables you to live at peace and enables you to know peace in your own heart, and that enables you to know a satisfaction, and also right with other people, right before others, right in the way we deal with people, right in the way we act. Justice it speaks of, that's really what it is. And justice is something we all talk about, but justice comes from a heart that is in relationship with God, a heart changed by Jesus. So have a great day, and we're going to look tomorrow at the next two of these macroisms or beatitudes, and I just pray that you have a wonderful day and think on these things. See you tomorrow.